Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a review of the North Face McMurdo Parka. Now, before I get into the video, I would just like to say, please, if you have not already, subscribe to the video and comment below anything else you'd like me to review. And also, if you could drop a like, that would be amazing because that really does help me. Today, we are reviewing this coat in red. It is a size small, and for reference, I am about 5'11" and 72 kilograms. Now, I would normally be a medium in most things, but I'll talk about that a bit later because this is a bit roomier than some other jackets that I have tried. Now, as a bit of a disclaimer, I did get this jacket back in 2018, so all the specifications, all the features and everything you see on this jacket might be a bit different to the ones that are out now currently in 2025. I do believe a lot of the features are very similar, so I'll do my best to go through everything, and then just if you come to buy one yourself, you might just want to double check the specifications. With all that being said, let's get straight into the video. I have just put the jacket on as with most of the videos because I do just find it easier to show you the features of the jacket. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the size, like I mentioned in the intro. Now, in all of my other North Face jackets that I own, I get a size medium, and the same with other brands. Like I own some Canada Goose stuff and that is a medium. Sometimes I get a hoodie in a large, but I'm saying coats and jackets always a medium. However, in this McMurdo from the North Face, I do size down and do get a size small, and you will see I'm wearing quite a thick hoodie underneath. I still think I could get another layer. If I was living somewhere like in Canada where it's really cold and I need the gilet underneath, I would get my usual size of a medium, but just for the UK, the way that I layer it, t-shirt, hoodie, coat, a small is fine. So yeah, I would recommend you downsize. Definitely go into store and try it on. I am like 5'11", 72 kg and in a small, but I would normally be in a medium. Okay, so the first feature, should we say, I'm going to talk about is the logo. So on this jacket, there is one on the left breast and it's embroidered, and there's one on the rear as well. I've noticed from like past experiences with the North Face products that I own, if it does have the embroidered logo, it tends to be like a bit of a superior item. I'm not sure about the new seasons because, as I said, I got this back in 2018, and please be aware that all the features I'm going to talk about are from this 2018 model. An example, like the new one, if you're looking to get a 2025, I know that that has an extra pocket on one of the sleeves that this doesn't have, so just bear that in mind throughout the video. Let's get into the actual features of this jacket then. This one in particular that I am wearing actually has 7 pockets, which is absolutely crazy. There's some for your hands here which are really nice and they have toggles inside so you can pull it tighter, and it pulls in a bit of a hem around here, which is great. The negative of these pockets is they are not fleece lined, which I really wish they were, because it does mean that if it's cold temperatures you do have to wear gloves, otherwise your hands do get quite cold, because the down is on the inside and then where your hand is exposed to the elements it's really thin. It's just me, you need gloves. It's worth noting that these pockets are buttoned and not zipped as well, which some people like, some people don't. Personally, I don't mind it because I'm just throwing my hand in there. I'm never going to zip them up anyway. The next pockets then are half fleece lined, and they are down here at the bottom of the parka. The fleece lined just at the front, so where I was saying your hands are exposed and they get cold because of the elements, they are fleece lined at the front but not the back, so again I'd probably like to wear gloves. And then they are a zip enclosure, so you can keep a bit more of your valuables in there. On the same pockets at the front with a velcro fastening, there is a massive pocket. Like, these pockets are about this big and they have them on both sides. Easily fit a beanie, easily fit gloves, dog leads, whatever it is using the jacket for, it is utilitarian enough to fit your stuff, so don't worry about that. So now, the inside breast pocket on the left hand side in here, which is quite nice. It does stay quite warm because it is part of the down loft that is like against your body, so your body heat kind of heats the pocket up. It's also kind of waterproof, which is the next feature that I'm going to talk to you about. It is a DryVent material from the North Face. Now, you might be able to get these in Gore-Tex, but this specific model is DryVent, which is their like waterproof material. It's not as breathable as Gore-Tex, but in my experience it's been absolutely fine. Like, it protects you from the snow, protects you from the rain. You're not going to be doing crazy hiking in this jacket anyway because it's just too big and bulky. It is definitely more for city use. It'll keep you nice and dry, which is an advantage over some other things like Canada Goose, for example, that are more snowproof rather than waterproof. Okay, so let's talk about the insulation of the jacket. So this one specifically is a 550 fill. Again, as I mentioned, it's an older one, and I know the 2025 models are recycled down fill and 600. It's super warm, but it is quite heavy, so do definitely bear that in mind. Let's move on to the sleeves. Now, they are velcro fastening, which is really good. You can get them nice and tight around your glove, that you can really crank that and have it super tight. Another thing that's missing, and I wish it had, and the new ones might, but this one doesn't, is having the ribbed cuffs, like the material cuffs, to just like really hug you and trap that warm air in, because I do notice there's a lot of heat. If I'm not wearing gloves, a lot of heat is like lost from the jacket through there, so that is something worth noting in my opinion. Onto the fastening of the jacket. So it has a one-way zipper, Got the zip up, it's nice and warm, it traps the heat in, as I say, apart from the arms, but other than that, it's quite nice. And it's poppers here, so it's not going to damage your jacket. Cool, so I've just done the poppers up on the coat. I have heard other people's reviews saying there's quite a lot of wiggle room at the bottom, but I would disagree. Like, it's not tight, I would say it's actually pretty perfect in the fact that like there's not too much movement there, and there's still plenty of room to cover your bum if you want to sit down on a wet bench or something. Like, I do think that is like probably the best feature of the jacket, to be honest. Now onto the hood. So I've just put the hood up with my hoodie underneath it, so plenty of room. Like, it's a down-filled hood. I've got my hoodie up and it still feels nice and roomy. This is Faux fur, so it's not real coyote, it is fake fur. It doesn't have a wire in it or anything, but you can sort of manipulate it a bit to give you a bit more protection from the wind and everything. This fur ruff is also removable, and so is the hood. So when I take the jacket off, I'll show you how to do that. But yes, if that was your question, you can remove the Faux fur, and you can also remove the hood separately. So you can rep the hood without the fur, and you can completely take the hood off as well. I'll show you that a bit later in the video towards the end. So before I show you the hood, there's just a few other extra bits that's worth noting. So I've talked before about the fill. Now in this jacket, it is reasonably sourced goose down fill. It is real feathers inside this jacket, and it is really warm. I'll say it is like pretty great for Britain, to be honest. Like, it is one of the nicer jackets I've worn, and I would probably recommend it. The price bracket is really good, like full price about £450, but you can often get them £250, £300, and the North Face has like a recycle program. So I've seen that you can get this in red for like £270, which is really not bad at all when you compare it to like more luxury brands, and it will still keep you warm in the winter. It is a great jacket. It does have these little bits of branding all around it. It's got it there, it's got it on the zip at the bottom there, so that is pretty cool. I do definitely like that. Right, okay, show you this next bonus feature. I'm gonna take it off so I can show you to the camera. It does have the sort of like fleece lined collar there, which is really nice, and also a feature that's always welcome is the little thing to hang it up as well, which is really useful. And then obviously this is size small, it has the size there, and come down here it has like the information about the down in the jacket and everything. Got a label on both sides so you can look at that. Right, okay, let's get into the hood. The Faux fur hood does have like poppers, so you can just unpop it, then yeah, final popper. And that is it. The fur is removed, so again, I can come close. Like, it's got the matching red to match the jacket, which obviously will match the colour of whatever coat you decide to get. That's really nice that you can remove it. So I've taken the fur off the hood, and this is kind of like what it looks like without the fur on it. Which is not personally how I would choose to wear it, but if you're in the city or something, this might be better, because the fur does definitely offer you a lot of protection from the wind, so that's like an advantage of the fur. But if you want a more casual look, you can take it off. Okay, and then removing the actual hood itself, I'm going to come close to the camera because it is a bit tricky. You have to sort of pull this flat back, and then it has a button popper in there. It actually has two button poppers in there that you have to undo, and then it has a YKK zipper just to unzip it. And then again, it unpops on the other side. I've never personally chosen to wear the coat like this, but I put my hood up just so I can show you from behind what it looks like a little bit better. But yeah, it definitely does feel a lot more roomy, a lot more light without that hood on, so you might like that if the weather's a bit better and you don't need that protection from the fur, or the hood to protect from the rain. Also worth noting, this is the hood, now it has been removed. As I mentioned earlier in the video, it is down on the inside. It's not as thick as the rest of the coat, but it is definitely like still really nice. Right, just before we end this review, I would like to talk a little bit more about the toggles on the jacket, because there is quite a lot and a lot of things that you can adjust. And the reason the hood's up again is because there's two on the hood, and I will give you a close-up video now. The hood is also adjustable, as you can see from these toggles just there, so you can pull it in and protect yourself from the wind. Now that you've seen that up close, I'll try show you it on the actual jacket itself, but it is quite tricky. You're up here on the hood, like quite high up. There's one here, and then one at the other side as well, so that one there, and then same like tucked behind this flap there at the other side. If you can see that, it is quite a faff, but it does mean that you can like really pull it in if it is snowing or something. So it is useful, but they are quite faffy, I will say that. The next ones I mentioned before are in the breast pockets. I will actually show you this time. So if you like pulled inside the pocket out, it is just in here like that, which is a great feature. As I said before, it kind of tightens like this bit of the jacket, like around like just under the rib cage. So this style of parka is not quite knee length and it's not hip length. It does just sit somewhere in the middle, which I do think is like perfect, because if it's like knee length, it feels really restricted in walking, and then if it's something a bit more like a bomber jacket, you do it like a wet bum, as I mentioned before, when you sit on a bench or something. With this being quite a long length parka, it is quite important that you can like tighten the bottom up as well, and I've thought about that. There is toggles down here by the labels and everything at the bottom. And this label here, I did mention this before, but this is like the reasonably sourced down label. There is another one of those toggles at the other side there on the jacket. They are like very useful as well, so you can like really manipulate how the jacket fits your body. I do really like the length of this jacket, and it's just a great versatile all-rounder. Okay, so that is my review of the North Face McMurdo Parka in red. I hope you enjoyed that video. As I said at the start, if you could please subscribe to the channel, like, leave a comment, all that kind of stuff, I'd very much appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!